Hey guys, it's Kevin. This is going to be another movie review for you guys, and this movie I'm going to be reviewing, obviously you guys know what it is. It's a movie that I've really been looking forward to. It's a sequel that I honestly have always really wanted, and that is the sequel to Teen Beach Movie, Teen Beach 2. Now, if you want to see my thoughts on Teen Beach Movie, you can look it up. It's my most recent video. I just did a review on it. I rewatched the movie, and you know what it made me think? It made me think, you know what, I really can't wait to see what the second one offers, because the first movie was a lot of fun. It provided us with some really fun music and, a really fun story and some great acting and all that stuff. But this movie, I was really interested in what would happen, especially after that awesome post-credit scene at the end of the movie, where you see all the characters from West Side Story go into the real world. I was really interested in seeing how they did that in this movie. And overall, how is Teen Beach 2? This was 10 times better than Teen Beach Movie. And I'm not saying I didn't love Teen Beach Movie. I did, but this took Teen Beach Movie from this fun, movie for kids and adults alike to an actual great story. Like, the story of this movie is great. I love the story of this movie. And there are a lot of things, and something I love is that there are so many things that, Disney Channel always, like, spoils everything. There were tons of stuff I didn't know about this movie, because I actually didn't watch a lot of the trailers, which I'm actually very happy about. I went into this movie not really knowing a lot, and I'm very happy I did that, because this movie was even more awesome that way. But let's get to the plot of Teen Beach 2, which I really do like. I think the plot is even better this time. Basically, Brady and Mac, the summer is over for them. They're now going to school, and, it's the first day of school, and things are kind of complicated for them. Mac is really is, like, really high in, like, honors classes and things like that, and she wants to do really well with that kind of stuff, while Brady is still focusing on surfing and just wants to have fun with Mac, but things aren't really the same between them. And basically, while in West Side Story, after Layla and Tanner have met Mac and Brady, things have been very different for them, and basically Layla is tired of basically doing the same thing over and over again, by, doing the same thing over and over again in the same movie. She really wants to change things, so she and Tanner go out into, into the ocean and end up in the real world, and they meet up with Mac and Brady when things are kind of not very good between them, and basically Mac and Brady have to now make them adapt to, the new environment, while they have to get back to West Side Story, because pretty much everything and everyone is disappearing. The movie may never exist, and Mac and Brady may have never met, and basically they have to do whatever they can to get them back to where they belong. That basically is the plot of Teen Beach 2. And that sounds a lot more convoluted than it sounds, but it's actually not very convoluted at all. It actually is a very good movie, and there are a lot of things I love this movie did. This movie's a lot deeper and emotional and provides a much bigger story that I really did love. Let's get to the acting in this movie. The acting, I feel, was 10 times better. The first movie, there really wasn't a lot to say, was fun acting. Everyone did a great job. There were some serious moments, with, like, Mac going to the school and everything, but this was a lot more interesting. Ross Lynch as Brady, I really like what they did with Brady's character. He wants to have fun. He's not really ready to go back to school. He just wants to basically have fun and surf and everything. But then you have Mac, who is a lot more independent into study and things like that. And I really like seeing their lives outside of the beach, because so far all we've seen is just them on the beach having fun. And I thought it was kind of cool to see them outside of that. That was actually really well done and something I've really enjoyed seeing. And Maya Mitchell, I think, gave an even better performance as Mac, and she really did a fantastic job in this movie. I really loved her scenes in the movie, how she was very independent and wanted to not really be with Brady as much, and how they wanted to do things together, but just things were getting in the way. Mac was focusing on the school dance, while Brady wants to focus on surfing and wants to surf with her and wants things to be like they are in the summer, but they're just not the same. They're very different. While they are different people, they're not the same they're pretty much the same in their school environments, and I thought that was a really good thing we saw, and the chemistry between these two is just so much better, because a lot of the movie, they're actually not, something about the movie with Mac and Brady is that they're not this fun couple throughout the whole movie. In fact, the first scene is really the only scene where I think they're a fun couple. Most of the movie, they're actually not very happy with each other. They're fighting a lot. I really like that Disney Channel took a risk like that, because I don't really think I've seen a Disney Channel movie where they're constantly at each other's throats, and in this movie, that's how it is, and I actually really like that they did that. It was a lot more serious and honestly kind of realistic. The story was a lot more realistic this time, and that's kind of funny when you have the story that you do. However, by far the best character in this movie is Grace Phipps as Layla. Holy shit, she was amazing in this movie. She was great in the first movie, don't get me wrong, but I love what they did with Layla here. Layla is by far my favorite part of the movie and my favorite character in this series by far. Grace Phipps as Layla gave an amazing performance, and I love what her character is because you can tell the second you see Layla's character, there is definitely something different about Layla. She really wants to change things. She's tired of having a script written for her. She wants to do her own thing and wants to basically, she goes out into the world so she can pursue her own dreams, and I really love the way they showed that in the movie. She gave an amazing performance. I love what they did with Layla's character, and it was awesome, honestly. And she just did an amazing job in the movie, especially towards the end. Especially when she got into the real world and started to adapt to the actual new life and started to look modern. She got amazing. I loved her performance. I honestly thought she was one of the best parts of the movie. Garrett Clayton as Tanner. Yes, his character's an idiot. Okay, let's just face it. His character is a complete idiot. He's not, the norm. He's supposed to be an idiot, but he plays that off really well. You can't help but love the guy. He's really funny in the role. I thought he did a really great job here. Most of the movie, he's a complete buffoon. It's actually really funny to see Layla and Tanner go out into the real world and, adapt to modern life with, the cell phone and things like that. They recreated the scene in the first movie really well here, and, there's this great song they have where they're adapting to the new world, and I thought it was really funny when they did that. I thought they did a great job, and I really enjoyed Tanner, Tanner in the movie and Layla as a dynamic. I thought their dynamic was great, and definitely I really like that about their characters. Something else this movie does, it actually gives the secondary characters in West Side Story more to do. Besides the characters in West Side Story, I also want to talk about Piper Curda as Alyssa, Mac's friend. I thought she was really good, and also whoever played Brady's friend, that guy's awesome. Whoever he was awesome. I loved their friendship. He was really funny. But this movie gives a lot more for the secondary characters in West Side Story. John DeLuca as Butchie was hilarious. I love that he basically was trying to take over the group and trying to figure out, where to go from there. Because, I mean, without the two stars, where do they move on? I thought it was really funny to see Butchie try to, figure out, okay, here's what we're going to do. And he even gives Chi even gets a song, which I thought Chrissy Fed as Chi did an amazing job with that. She was really funny there. And Molly Gray as Giggles was great as well. Everyone was really great in this movie. Jordan Fisher as Seacat, I love it. He kept trying to steal the spotlight. That was hilarious. I thought he did a great job. Everyone actually did a great job in this movie, and everyone really gave an amazing performance, honestly. Not amazing, but most of them, well, Grace Phipps was amazing. The four main stars, they were all amazing, but everyone else was really good, definitely. The directing by Jeffrey Hornaday, I love what he did with this movie because he knew what we loved in the first movie. And let me just say, this movie is very different from the first movie, but doesn't destroy what the first movie had. Oh, also, if you guys are wondering how I watched this movie already, I watched it on Solar Movie or on Watch Disney Channel. You guys can watch it there. But Jeffrey Hornaday, I think he did an amazing job directing this movie because he knew that while the first movie was fun, he had to step it up and make it better. And he could have just made a, shits and giggles sequel, which would have been fine, but he really stepped it up here, and I really do applaud him for doing that. Especially the end of the movie. I love the direction he went towards the end of the movie, and I am going to talk about that in the spoilers, which I think was awesome what he did there, but the directing I thought was great. It was really funny, the parts that were supposed to be funny were really fun, but I also love the dramatic and heart to this movie. That's something I thought was really well done. The writing was even better this time. There are some really good, serious scenes in this movie. I love what the movie had to say about movies, that they are made up, and that every time you see a movie, it is pretty much the same story, and I thought that was really well done. It actually made us care for these two characters that, yeah, they're in a movie, but they are real people, and I like seeing that. I like seeing that while they are in this movie, they basically act like real people, and they're starting to develop emotions. That's something that we didn't see in the first movie. They actually figure out what an argument is in this movie. Layla figures out what it's like to be modern. I thought those were things I just really like seeing. I thought the writing was definitely very well done there. The movie was also hilarious at times. I thought it definitely was very funny, especially any scene with Tanner where Tanner was acting like a goofball. I thought it was hilarious to watch, honestly. It was great. I also loved especially the ending to this movie. I thought was very well written. I will talk about it. I honestly think it was a perfect way to end the movie. I really don't want them to make a Teen Beach 3. The way this ended, that was the perfect way to end the series. Seriously, it was probably the perfect way to end it, and I loved it. The cinematography of this movie was awesome. I think the cinematography was even better this time. There are some really, thrilling scenes in this, especially toward the end of the movie. There's this one scene where my heart was like, I was surprised by like how fast my heart was beating. Like I was honestly on the edge of my seat. And what they do is they get you to care more for the characters, and I really did like that. I thought they did a great job with getting us to care more about these characters who they're just in a movie, but I do care about them. And also, the music in this movie, I think, was not better, but still just as good as the first. The only thing I don't think was better than the first one. I think the songs were still great in this movie. There are some really catchy songs, especially towards the end. There's one song I'm not going to be able to get stuck in my head. It's awesome. I recommend you get the soundtrack. If you love the first movie, the soundtrack of the first movie, you're going to love this movie. You really will. I think it's, it has everything in the music that made it great. The music is a little bit more modern this time, and also there were some really funny songs, like when Layla and Tanner would just randomly burst down into song in class. Seeing them do that was hilarious. There's this one hilarious number in the cafeteria. Also, even more impressive was the choreography. Holy shit, that's hard choreography. There's one song where it's like, wow, these people work really hard, and this is a Disney Channel movie, and they treat this like Broadway choreography. Like, they're all doing all these flips and crazy dance moves. It's awesome to watch, and I think they did a really great job with the choreography. They stepped that up very well. Definitely, I thought they did even better job with the choreography. That's something I definitely really enjoyed here. And again, as I said, while I do love this movie, I don't really want a second one. I would appreciate if they don't do that, and I think that'd be really well done. And now I'm going to get to spoilers, because the spoilers of this movie, I really want to talk about the ending. And if you guys have not seen Teen Beach 2, it's on right now. You guys can watch it. You can pause this review, watch it right now. It's on Disney Channel. Please, if you have seen the movie, you know what I'm going to talk about, but the ending to this movie, I love where they went with the ending of this movie. So let's just get into it. And again, if you guys haven't seen it, please, oh, also, with the songs, I forgot to say, they put some really cool spins on some of the songs you love. Like, there's this one great thing they do with Fallen For You. I thought that was great. I love what they did with that song, and it was really funny. But now I'm going to talk about the spoilers. If you guys haven't seen Teen Beach 2, don't watch the rest of this review. I actually think that you guys will have even better time with Teen Beach 2. I think people that don't like the first movie, they'll like this movie even more. There are people shitting on this movie. You need to have fun with it. That's this thing. While it is very serious, you need to have fun with the movie, and I definitely had fun with it. So overall, it's great, but now let's get into spoilers. Okay, so I really applaud the movie for having as ballsy as an ending as it was. That, honestly, I did not think the movie was going to do that, but that was awesome. When Max said to Layla, go do your own story, go do your own thing, I didn't think that would mean that changes the fate of Mac and Brady, but that was awesome. I love that they did that, because, of course, we know that Mac and Brady met through West Side Story, that Brady was watching West Side Story, Mac came up to him, and, that's basically how they met, was on the beach. The way they changed it in this movie, I thought was perfect, with giving Layla her own story. Layla finally gets what she wants. She's now no longer stuck in this environment where she can't do what she wants. She can now do whatever she wants. It's her movie. Her changing it to Layla, Queen of the Ocean, I thought was hilarious that they did that. And when we saw Mac and Brady, I wasn't sure if they were pretending to not know each other or if they didn't know each other. But then when we saw that those two met through the movie, I'm like, that is the perfect way to end this series, because basically it's changed everything. It's made their lives better. Got them back together, and it's where we want them to be. And I thought that was the best way to end the movie. I really applaud Disney Channel for going that ballsy with it. I didn't think they'd do that, especially in a movie like this, but they did an amazing job with the ending. I was like, wow, that is awesome that they did that. I love that they did that. I thought that was the perfect way in the movie, and I honestly don't want a third one. Thank God there was not a post-credit scene, because I was thinking there was going to be, and thank God there wasn't, because there's nothing else they can do with this series. They've done everything they can, and this was the perfect way to end it, and I think they ended it perfectly. Really, they did. I couldn't have asked for anything better. The song at the end was awesome. Just the way they ended it, it really was everything I could have asked for the sequel. So overall, guys, and again, if I had to rate this, you guys are going to be surprised with my rating, but my rating, honestly, is a 4.5 out of 5 or an A. I think this movie is significantly better than the first one. I think it has a lot more to say. I think it has some great messages. It makes you care a lot more about the character, specifically Layla. I was so surprised with how well they did that with her character. I love what they did with all the characters in the movie. They expanded the characters more. They made us care about them more, and they've just overall made the story even better, which I absolutely love, and I thought they did a great job with that. So, guys, this is my review of Teen Beach 2. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys saw this movie you have seen. If you haven't, it's on Disney Channel right now. You can watch it. And I will see you guys in my next video, which will be for another classic movie review. And I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.